Hey guys, Dissection of Violence here. We got another one for you. This is a really good event, UFC 304. I'm really excited for it. Let's get started. We have Marcin Prachnio versus Modestas Bukauskas. So we got Bukauskas here. He has had, a relatively dominant Cage Warriors run. Cage Warriors, I've learned to understand that it's just not a great, like, they don't produce that great of fighters. Like, they have some good fighters, of course, but yeah, it's questionable to say the least. Yeah, moving on though about let's talk about Prachnio. Prachnio is a kicker. He's a solid fighter. He's beat Roundtree, who also beat Bukauskas. I think Bukauskas is a much more reserve fighter, and I think his wins over Tyson Pedro, um, I want to say Chuck Campbell, but I couldn't. Martin Hamlet, like he's beat some decent guys. Um, honestly, like, he's not great, but he's serviceable, and I think he can get the job done here by decision. This is a close fight either way, so you're picking one of them to get a decision. I don't think anyone's gonna get KO'd. Prachnio, uh, his kicks are very telegraphed, so I could see him just, blasting kicks the whole fight, making it close that way. But I just think Bukauskas is going to be on the move, and I don't see Prachnio doing enough to steal the decision. So gonna go with Bukauskas here, but could definitely see some weird scorecards. So yeah, be careful with that one though. Moving on, we have Shaunna Bannon versus Elise Ardelean. So I'll be honest here. I have not seen this girl fight. Um, she could be a great fighter. I just will not watch this like tape when I see things like exhibition MMA. Like, what am I supposed to think? Like, she fought a 2-0 girl from from South Africa. Like, what am I supposed to think about that? Like, she trains at like some random gym in South Africa, like some bare knuckle girl. Like, she has some good experience. Like, she fought Weili Zhang. She got finished by Weili Zhang. But it's like, is that really what your claim to fame is? You got finished by Weili Zhang. Jenny Lyons, a bare knuckle girl. So she might be dangerous, but I just think Shaunna Bannon is, a little more established at this point. She has, I don't know how many fights now, 5 or 6, sorry. Her fights have been relatively um all right. Like, she's not good. I think this is a slight lean off of just I'm used to her, but she's faced girls like Chanel Dyer, if that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah, she beat Chanel Dyer. Like, if you're beating girls like Chanel Dyer, she took Ditcheva to a decision. Like, she's faced good girls. Like, if people don't understand this, like, I didn't even know this. Like, I just looked through her amateur. She's faced some good girls and went to a decision. I don't think this girl is gonna pose that much of a threat on the feet. So I'm gonna go Shannon Bannon. Definitely a volatile fight because we don't know too much about this Arlise girl, but I'm going with the girl that's fought in the UFC before. I mean, she's lost to Bruna Brazil, which isn't a great look, but Bruna Brazil's at the Fighting Nerds, and they can put together a decent game plan. So definitely a fight I'm leaning Bannon, but it's not a fight I'm telling people to bet on. So be careful in this spot. It's definitely a volatile one. The thing about Shannon Bannon is she keeps fights too close sometimes, and I just don't trust her as much as, like, the next person. So definitely gonna go Shannon, but it's a volatile fight. Don't want to talk too much longer about this. We got Sam Patterson versus Keifer Crosbie. Sam Patterson. This should be a one-way traffic as long as he doesn't get clipped. He is the much better fighter, longer range. He looked pretty good at welterweight at first in his debut against Johan. He sent Johan back to the regional scene, which is pretty unfortunate for him. But regardless, Sam Patterson dispatched with him with ease, and I think his grappling is legit. Kiefer Crosby is awful. He is off the sauce, so I don't rate him at all. When he's on the sauce, he's a little more dangerous. But he's dangerous on the feet. He's gonna be dangerous. That KO threat's gonna be there. But he's KO or bust, and I think he's gonna gas out if he goes eight. I'm trying not to swear so I don't get demonetized. When he goes eight like eight full eight mode, I don't think Sam Patterson is gonna be too worried. I think he's gonna be calm, reserved, take him down if he rushes. Like I just think this is a free win for Sam Patterson. If he screws this up, then it's on him. But I just think Kiefer Crosby, like if you look through his record, man, like he has faced Kevin Doucette and he's got smoked and ran around. He has faced Aaron Chalmers randomly in I think bare knuckle. No, it was random MMA exhibition. He was on the sauce. He's faced guys like Georgie Cochran, got smoked. Charlie Leary, he got smoked. Or I didn't think he got smoked. I can't even remember that fight. Sorry, I don't want to get quoted on that. He's okay. Like he's can be dangerous, but for the most part, he's pretty crap, and he's not on the sauce over in the UFC. It's a noticeable difference I see. I'm definitely gonna go with Sam Patterson here. Not gonna overthink it. And yeah, moving on. We have Oban Elliott versus Preston Parsons. Uh, been torn on this one. Cause I like Oban, but I just think Parsons is just more reliable as far as his game plan and what he's just out there to do. If he goes out there to wrestle Elliott, I think it's going to be a long night. I think Elliott's going to defensively, you know, mix combinations off his breaks when they break. I think Parsons' best bet is just to stay behind his jab. Um, stay fundamental, take the shots when necessary. Um, But yeah, I just think this is a pretty close fight, man. Like I don't want to, get told or tell you guys a the opinion that's not, great. Because this fight, I don't have a lot of thought on this fight. I just think this is a big pass spot for me. Oban's a grinder. He's gonna work. He's gonna try to chain wrestle. He works with the Shore brothers. They have pretty good cage work. I think Elliott's very, very crafty, could win this fight, but I just think Parsons is just more fundamentally sound. So I'm gonna go with Parsons, but it's definitely not a confident pick as this fight could go a variety of different ways. Um, yeah, I like Oban Elliott here. Not you here, sorry. I like Oban Elliott. He's a good dude. He's on Twitter all the time, but the thing with Oban is sometimes he checks out, and I just think Preston Parsons can find openings in those times that he checks out. I think can be hittable. I don't trust these Cage Warriors guys as far as I can throw them. Preston Parsons, if you look through his career, first of all, he's faced Evan Elder. He beat Evan Elder, which is a great win in itself. And I think Evan Elder is much better than Oban Elliott. And he beat Semelsberger. He took Giles to a split decision. Like he had the only loss that's not great is the Daniel Rodriguez loss, but D-Rod hits like a truck, so it is what it is. Oban Elliott, I just think hasn't proved nothing yet. This is a big show me spot. Like he has. If you look at Oban Elliott's record, it's who has he really beat? Kayak Brito, Val Woodburn, like. And he went life or death with Woodburn on the feet. So it's like I just don't like these things. I know Woodburn's dangerous, but he has win over Sheehan, which is a good win. So don't get it twisted and make me think, oh, I'm heavily on Parsons. No, it's a close fight. He beat Matt Bonner, who is not great. He got KO'd by Fleming. He KO'd by Fig. Like he can be finished. I think Parsons is just more fundamental. I'm gonna go with Parsons here, but it's definitely a fight I have no interest in. Yeah, moving on. We have Mick Parkins. Mick Parkins versus Lukasz Brzeski is a another guy who is off the sauce in my opinion, and he does not look great. He just I don't know, man. He went life or death with Walter Walker, who is awful, and Mick Parkin is just a fundamentally sound, well-rounded heavyweight in my opinion. He's not. He's gonna get beat by the better guys because he has shown fraud vibes in his. I'm gonna first attack Brzeski, but I'm just gonna mention a few things about Parkin. Parkin is very very sound. He trains with Aspinall. Like he's very very sound. But going into Brzeski, split decision with Boudet is awful. He should have won that fight, but I don't know. I had a Boudet ticket that fight, so I wasn't complaining. Carl Williams, another fight where it's like, oh, whatever. Waldo Acosta got KO'd pretty bad. That was funny. Um, yeah, man. Brzeski won me some money against Walter Walker, so he's always gonna have a special place in my heart. I've had a pretty decent career of capping him, and I think I'm gonna keep the streak going here with Mick Parkin. He's at home. So many things in favor of Mick Parkin here. Skill. He's actually in shape, not looking like a tub of goo. Mick Parkin is, I think he's gonna mix in the takedowns. He's going to cage work, have better cage work, and outland him, calf kicks. I this could get close. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm not married to the spot. This is heavyweight MMA, the lowest of the worst. This is worse than, in my opinion, women. I think women's MMA beats um heavyweights any day. Not like obviously like if you put a heavyweight versus them, I get it, but like if you put like skill for skill, like it's all day. Women's MMA beats this. Heavyweights are low for me, and that's why I have no interest in this fight. But I think Parkin wins it. I think, yeah, I think Brzeski is off the sauce too. I don't rate him, and I think he has a good knack for making fights close, but I just don't think he's gonna beat Parkin. If he does, it's with output. Um, so yeah, lean Parkin, but close fight. Moving on. We got Hadley taking on Caolan Loughran. Loughran. The thing about Colin Loughran is he's just so much bigger than Jake Hadley. This is a terrible idea for Hadley. I don't know who told him to do this. Um, Loughran is gonna just gonna bully him. Hadley obviously has my not obviously has the better experience in my opinion. I mean we'll go through it in a second, but Hadley has faced guys like Charles Johnson, Cody Durden, um, Malcolm Gordon. Losing to Cody Durden is just not a good look. I think Colin Loughran is a better version of Cody Durden. I think Colin Loughran is going to out wrestle him, outbox him on the feet. Like his only wins are over, relatively bums. He has a win over Mitch Raposo, but uh, Mitch Raposo is, interesting character as far as skill set. Like he has a decent skill set, but he gets you know, beat by the better guys, and he's good at the middle stuff like feinting, moving, and all that good stuff. But other than that, when it comes to actually going, it's you can see why he lost that fight. I think Hadley's got talent, and maybe he can pull this one off, but I just don't think so. I think Lauren's gonna smoke him. I think this is a mismatch as far as weight classes. Yeah, Loughran should win this one relatively easily. The only thing with Loughran is I'll show you the difference of competition. So we have, we'll go through Cage Warriors quick. Cage Warriors, he beats Batek, Orcal, Bakeo. He's the finisher. Don't get me wrong, he's dangerous. Got dangerous punching power. I'll hold it with Bakeo, Shanks, ground and pound, Hazan. All these guys are relatively not great. Reese Street, I think he faced him twice. Oh no. He lost to Reese McEwen. Nathan Fletcher. Like these are not great losses. Taylor Laplace is like whatever. Taylor's a pretty good fighter, but losing to Fletcher and McEwen, like they're just grapplers, man. Jake Hadley can grapple, man. I think this is a really interesting fight because other than the size difference, I think if this was like they're the same size, I feel like this could be a lot more close of a fight. But just off the pure size difference, you got to go with Caolan Loughran. It's just the size is going to be too much. I do hope Jake Hadley can pull an upset. It would be funny, very funny with how brash and cocky Caolan is. But I'm gonna go with Caolan Loughran here by TKO or decision. But yeah, definitely shout out to Hadley for taking the fight. I know maybe he's hoping for the UFC to get some favors in for taking the fight short notice, but we'll see how this fight plays out. Moving on, we have Molly McCann versus Bruna Brasil. Honestly, Molly McCann should just out physicality her, but I can see a world where Bruna Brasil keeps it close. Like for example, Talia Santos, uh, who's was shown to not be as good as people thought. She's good, but like she went life or death with Jenna Bishop, who's only a grappler. She's a good grappler, but she's only a grappler. And I think Molly McCann can also out physicality Bruna Brazil. I think beating Diana Belbita is like whatever, obviously. Hannah Goldie, whatever. Like the thing with Molly is she's just so physical and she has a decent ability to get finishes from, grappling and striking. So I can't really say she's out of any fight. But it's a close fight. I think Molly McCann's aside, obviously. She's at home and this is just, in my opinion, Bruna Brazil can be out wrestled, outworked. I think she lost to Loma Luke Boomy. I think she did. Yeah, she lost to Loma. I think Molly McCann can follow a similar game plan, not to Loma, but like the people that have beat her, just land heavy shots, she'll back her up, make her stay on the back foot. I think Molly McCann is just naturally more aggressive, and she's gonna fight harder. Obviously, and I think she's gonna be bigger. Like she's coming down a weight class. She's not a small girl against all these giants. I know Bruna Brazil is pretty big for the weight class, but I don't think Molly McCann's gonna be, oh my god, I haven't seen this style before. It's gonna be like a crappier version of Talia Santos with better, my opinion, better striking. So I'm gonna go with Molly McCann here, but definitely it's women's MMA. Anything can happen, so gonna stay away from this one, but gonna go with Molly here. Can see a world where Bruna Brazil steals a decision, but I'm not gonna touch this fight. Just chill with this one and watch this fight and enjoy uh, the festivities and Molly wins. That'll be pretty cool. Should do a funny celebration by running under the crowd. I know people think it's corny, but I thought it was pretty funny. She's just doing her thing. The girl knows how to fight, and and she can make fights ugly. I think she's gonna break Bruna Brazil. Bruna Brazil is easy to break, and yeah, I'm not gonna speak about this fight too much longer. Moving on, we have Nathaniel Wood versus Daniel Pineda. Daniel Pineda, crafty vet, former, I don't know if he's currently, but former roid head. He's got caught for roids. He's lost by KO to Cub Swanson. He's lost to Caceres. I know Cub Swanson's the man, but Nathaniel Wood's also the man. He's just small. I think he's going to not out scramble, sorry, defend the shots from Pineda. I think he's going to, if he doesn't get caught on the feet somehow, I think he's just going to have the better all around. I think he's going to have better all around skill set. I think he's going to have more output. I think he's going to either, if he doesn't KO Pineda, I think he's going to win a decision dominantly. The thing with Pineda is, how old is he? He is 38 years old. That's terrible for this age. For at 145, that's an awful age to be, especially when you're supposed to be natural. I think he is, but you never know. Um, yeah, man, I gotta go with Nathaniel Wood here. He's just done a lot more as far as in the UFC, and he's still only 30 years old. So he's faced guys like Casey Kenny, who he arguably should have beat. John Dodson, Charles Jourdain. He beat Charles Jourdain, Charles Rosa, Andre Fili. Like he's beat good guys. And Naimov he was on his way to beating, but he cheated a bunch. Didn't get a point deducted. It is what it is. I'm not gonna cry too much longer about that fight. But yeah, man. I just don't see other than the size difference. But where Daniel Pineda is not a really big featherweight, so I think this is a favorable matchup for Wood. I see Wood winning this just by decision dominant. Yeah, and also I think Pineda can make the sticky with the grappling, but I don't see him getting the fight there. I think Wood's good at defending the takedown and getting back up. We'll see what happens. Definitely a fight. I have no interest in with the current odds, but I think Wood wins this one. Might parlay him with Loughran. I don't know. We'll see. Moving on, we have Muhammad Mokaev versus Manel Cape. Cap. So I met Manel in Vegas. This guy is an absolute G. The thing with Cap is he's now again whatever stays in the gym. I'm not even going to speak about. But what I will say from watching his fights, he can be out grappled. And Mukaev's a very, very good grappler. Um, Now he made the adjustments. He's at extreme. Um, they're, he's they got good grapplers there. So and he's trains. He's under dominance MMA. He's gonna get the good work. The thing with Cap, like I said, he can be out wrestled, and his chain wrestling isn't great. Mukaev's chain wrestling is excellent. Will he submit Cap? I don't think so. I think he will win by control, kind of like he did with Charles Johnson. I'm leaning Mokaev only for that reason. He's also fighting at home. I feel some home cooking for Mokaev. This guy is an absolute savage. Hasn't lost. You can't fade Mokaev. But I'm rooting for Cap to win this fight, and yeah, I want him to pull an upset. The odds are pretty, representative of this fight. I don't see Mokaev being a 2-1 for anything after his last performance. It was absolutely terrible. If you watched his last performance, I don't want to get into their record because you guys don't need to know that they're high level. You guys should already know that. These guys are high level fighters and in two different ways. Mokaev can't really strike. Cap is an excellent striker, but Cap can't. I mean, he can grapple guys that aren't as good as Mokaev, but we'll see, man. This is a big question for me. How can he handle the level of grappling Mokaev? I feel like he's got good working with Patchy Mix and those types of grapplers, so should be okay. But Mokaev's Dagestan level wrestling and grappling is I don't know. This is a weird fight for me. I could talk about this fight for hours, but I'm not gonna speak too much longer about it. It's a pretty close fight. I wouldn't tell anyone to bet on this fight, but definitely if you were to choose a side, I would take Mokaev just because this guy will grapple the crap out of somebody and he won't stop shooting. And this guy, he can be champ if man, I don't know. He's like Pantoja, like these guys are just nasty, sticky grapplers. The thing about him is he like grapples and he'll like let himself get sprawled out and he'll like you play the grounded knee game. And I'm wondering with the new rule, I don't know if they said they have a new grounded knee rule that came out. I don't know, but if Mokaev can't use that rule, then I'm very interested to see because a lot of people like Mokaev use that rule against the system. And if Mokaev can't use that rule, maybe Cap can blast some knees, cause some damage. Maybe I don't know. This is going to be a great fight, regardless. Let's go Cap. Moving on though, we got Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. Giga is another guy I've met, and Arnold Allen I've also met as well. Really happy for these guys, getting a big showcase fight. The thing with this fight is Arnold Allen is fighting at home, and he is, you know, my opinion, he's the better fighter. He's fought and beat better guys. Sadiq Yusuf, Calvin Cater, who destroyed Giga Chikadze. I just think he's beat guys like Mads Burnell, um, Makwan Mercani. I know they're grapplers. He's on a two-fight losing skid. I get it. So it's, Giga could pull off a upset win. He can be rocked, so Giga could KO him too. But I'm gonna go with Arnold Allen here. I think Giga Chikadze has not beat anybody like relatively great. Omar Morales is, Omar Morales. Alex Caceres is, journeyman. Barboza is, a good win. That was probably one of his best wins. Cub Swanson, good win. Jamal Emmers, he has a good win with over there. But I thought Jamal going to war with Jamal Emmers indicates that you're not as good as you think you are. He got absolutely schooled by Calvin Cater. I'm gonna have to go with Arnold Allen here, but it's a volatile fight as far as striking goes. This is gonna fare out mostly on the feet, and I could see a world where Arnold Allen wins, but Giga throws more, and it's a close decision, or maybe Arnold Allen just gets some home cooking. I don't know. This is a fight I have not a lot of interest in, but I think Arnold wins. Moving on. Well, we got Christian Leroy Duncan taking on Gregory Robocop Rodriguez. So Robocop, please unblock me. This guy blocked me because I predicted against him in the past. You don't want to predict against this man; he will block you. So, I mean, I didn't know that was so bad to block. Sorry, to predict against you. I get it's like doubting you, but I don't know. I wasn't throwing any jabs. I just said what I thought and that the truth. Like I'm gonna say now, and that his chin is not reliable. I don't know his age right now. I'd have to check. He looks like he's 39, 40, but he's 32. He's very, very dangerous. Ground and pound on the feet. I lean Leroy Duncan, but it's a fight I have absolutely no interest in. I think RoboCop is dangerous everywhere. Duncan is only good on the feet. He struggled with. I know it was a while ago, but Will Curry, he struggled with his grappling at times. I think RoboCop, if he gets him down, is going to just stay on top. This is a fight that I see Duncan either winning early with a nasty combination or sequence. Duncan has the ability to make magic happen, so definitely he's one of the Cage Warriors guys that I really like. He's very, very talented, but we'll see if his style can translate to a pressure forward Terminator style like Gregory Robocop. Robocop is an absolute savage. Um, the guy can hit like a truck. He can take a shot sometimes, but then it's weird. His chin's weird. He can take big shots from Cheaty sometimes and then eat it, and then other times he'll get chinned by. Let's see. Let's see. He'll get chinned by Bruno Ferreira, who can hit pretty hard, so not too much. And Jordan Williams. Jordan Williams was probably the loss it comes to mind. But he's beat and he's got rocked a lot in his fight. So I'm gonna go with Leroy Duncan finding the finish, but definitely could see a world where he gets exposed by RoboCop. I'm just hoping. I have a lot of belief in Leroy Duncan, so maybe my dreams for him get smashed here. But I'm gonna go with Leroy Duncan here. Moving on, ooh, we have Bobby Green versus Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett is, yeah, this is another fight I have no interest in. I think if it gets to the mat, he's going to out grapple Bobby Green with his jiu-jitsu. But as far as wrestling, Bobby, as judo, Pimblett, striking, Bobby, Chin, Pimblett. It's just like it's not a fight that you want to bet on. Like it's like a fight that you want to watch. So I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna watch this fight. I'm not gonna be a degenerate and want to bet on this fight. I think Bobby Green is absolutely capable of winning this fight. That's why I'm picking him to win this fight. I think he is going to expose Paddy. I do think Paddy's good, but if he doesn't KO Bobby, then he's gonna be in trouble. But we'll see, man. Honestly, I might go switch back to Pimblett. I just have no interest in this fight. This is such like other than watching it because I have no interest in betting it. Both these guys are relatively volatile, and yeah, it just like how old is Bobby Green? Like I can't even express to you how little interest I have in this fight. He is 37 years old. Jim Miller rocked him a few times. Like Paddy KO. I'm actually debating on making a play on that, so we'll see. Um, but yeah, I might lean Paddy pick KO. That's a nice prop, depending on the price. So we'll see. Yeah, yeah. I think this is watch me spot, not a bet me spot. So pass. Moving on, we have Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blaydes. I see a lot of people get showing love to Curtis Blaydes, and I love Curtis Blaydes. This guy's a great dude. I met him. I think he's a solid guy. He hits hard. He can wrestle. The thing with Curtis Blaydes, and he has a good feint game, good team behind him. He beat some good guys. Rosenstrike, Almeida. I'm not counting that win against Aspinall because it was a fluke. I think Aspinall's just the better fighter, man. I think he's going to be faster. He's going to hit Curtis Blaydes really hard and put him out. I know it's not easy to put him out, but I think Tom Aspinall is the man to do it. This guy moves like a cat. He has beat guys like Sergey Pavlovich, Volkov. Uh, I know by grappling, but he hasn't. This is his big show me spot. I think Tom Aspinall. He's because relatively he's only beat bums other than Volkov and Pavlovich. Tybora's not a bum. He's just a journeyman. Spivak, same deal. So I think this is a show me spot for Tom, but I still think Tom rises to the occasion. I think Tom is the man right now. I love Tom Aspinall here. I think Tom beats Curtis Blaydes in the rematch, and yeah, I don't think there's going to be a need for a trilogy because Tom's going to smoke him. We'll see though. Maybe Curtis Blaydes backers are right, and I'm just delusional. And for love for Tom Aspinall, I think Tom Aspinall's the man. If he beats Curtis Blaydes, he's my opinion the best heavyweight on the earth. I know John Jones is alive, but he won't fight him. So because he won't fight him, Tom Aspinall is the man. We'll see though. Curtis Blaydes is not a bad fighter, so I could see an upset, but in my eyes I see Tom Aspinall and still. Moving on, we got the main event. We got Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. I've met both these guys. Leon Edwards is the man. Really cool dude. Same with Bilal. I had a really funny story about Bilal. My boy, yeah, I'm not even gonna get into it. But my boy essentially asked him to come swimming with him at 7 in the morning, across the pool. And Bilal, wearing swim trunks, said, "No, I'm just here to check out the pool," and left. My boy completely scared him away. Yes, my boy is like 15 years old, but it is what it is. It, he embarrassed us like hella bad, but it is what it is. The fight card was sick. This kid was not that bad. He was just a bit embarrassing at times. So yeah, but that's a story for another day. Bilal Muhammad, I think I think he could win this fight, man. Honestly, I think round five with Leon Edwards and Colby is the chain wrestling of Bilal is okay. Colby is better chain wrestling, but he doesn't have, in my opinion, the top heavy game that Bilal Muhammad does. I think Bilal Muhammad, other than you know I know Leon should win this fight. On paper, he should win this fight, but I just have a gut feeling Bilal steals this fight. I'm gonna ride with that prediction. I'm looking to get out of my bet, honestly, of Bilal because I don't want to be betting emotionally. I just think Bilal is gonna win this fight. I think 2-1's a bit ridiculous, but if the fight plays out the same way it did last fight, we're gonna see like good odds for Bilal by the second or third round. So if by the second or third round I like the odds, I might play it, but we'll see, guys. I'm not really focused on that fight. There's better fights in the card to focus on. Anyways, guys, I'll give you guys my top five predictions. Let's see what we like here. The thing, let me get into Bilal. I gotta talk more about Bilal. Like, if you look at his record, man, like he's beat good guys. Randy Brown, uh, Stephen Thompson, Vicente Luque in his prime, like but Luque, Sean Brady. Gilbert Burns. I mean, Gilbert Burns was injured, but still, like he's beat good guys, man. Like people are gonna keep doubting Bilal, but I just think Bilal's the man right now. As far as I don't know, man. Like I know he doesn't have aura, but yeah, he's got something that like that. He's got the fight in him to win, take a beating and come back and win. I just think Bilal wins this fight. I think Leon can get lazy, and I think Bilal can take advantage of that. We'll see though. Leon's extremely talented. Definitely a hard fight to call for in my opinion. I know a lot of people see Leon just smoking him, but I gotta go with Bilal here. But yeah, top five predictions. Um, Let me see. Number one, I'd say Nathaniel Wood. Number two, Sam Patterson. Number three, Tom Aspinall. Number four, Shannon Bannon. Number five, I'd say Arnold Allen. No, Molly McCann. I'd say Molly McCann. And Brandon Allen tied. And then Loughran also tied with that. Anyways, guys, like, subscribe. You know the drill. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.